Why do psychologists sometimes leave the laboratory and simply watch people? In this lesson, what naturalistic observation is, why researchers trust it, where it famously breaks down, and the two sampling techniques that make it reliable. Naturalistic observation is a research method used in psychology and the social and behavioral sciences. It consists of observing how people or animals behave in their natural environments. Unlike laboratory experiments, where researchers test hypotheses, control variables, and take measurements, naturalistic observation simply records what happens in a real-world context, as it happens. So, why do researchers love this method? First, authenticity. The behaviors observed are genuine data because they emerge naturally in the contexts where they actually occur, and no laboratory can fully replicate a natural environment. Second, the observer doesn't need to interfere. Events unfold on their own, which increases the truthfulness of the data. The method works in any social or organizational setting, and it often sparks new ideas, new hypotheses, and entirely new lines of research. But the method has a famous problem: objectivity, and it comes down to two factors: the observer's presence and the observer's attitude. Here's the paradox. The moment an observer enters a setting, the people being studied notice. Without meaning to, the observer can change the very behaviors they came to record. One proposed fix was to hide the purpose of the observation, but later evidence showed that concealing information can make people feel insecure or distrustful. And should the observer be active or passive? For a long time, passivity seemed safer. Surely, a quiet observer interferes less. The evidence disproved that too. What actually works is habituation, letting the subjects become familiar with an observer who is openly and actively present. These limitations raise a deeper question: can we trust the results? Researchers Smith and Connolly argued that reliability in naturalistic observation depends on three things: how consistently the observer records the behavior, how stable the behavior itself is, and how adequate the sample is. To meet these criteria, researchers use measures like percentage agreement, checking whether different observers recognize the same behavior using the same threshold. In practice, naturalistic observation measures how often behaviors occur and in what sequence. Two sampling techniques make this possible. Event sampling records a behavior every time it occurs within a set period. Back at the playground, researchers might note each time children take turns on the slide, ignoring everything else. It's inherently valid because events are observed as they happen. Though if behaviors lack clear boundaries, observers may struggle to agree. Time sampling instead observes defined behaviors during short windows, say 1 hour every morning, recording whether each behavior appears or not. It can be momentary, capturing behaviors the instant they occur, or interval-based, checking at regular intervals. Naturalistic observation reminds us of something simple. Sometimes, the best way to understand behavior is not to control it, but to watch it carefully where it lives. This was a U-Brain Explainer, reviewed and approved by our editorial team. Subscribe for more science explained properly.